Hello, okay, so we're down on the floor. What we need to first have an understanding or an awareness of is our core muscles and how that relates to our back. So a lot of the time, a lot of the problems that I see with clients and patients is that this particular area of their body is weak. And what we need to learn to do is engaging our deep core muscles that actually supports our spine. Now, a good way of doing this is if you are able to do so. Come onto the floor, relaxing your head. Now we need to look up at the ceiling. Before we actually raise up and come to a tabletop position, what I want us first to be able to do is engage our lower or our deep core muscles in the pelvic area. So what you're going to do is you're going to tilt your pelvis up. You automatically going to feel this contraction, this sensation in the lower pelvic area. Also a good tip to know if you have actually engaged. Now I'm relaxed, you're able to place your hand underneath your lower back. That's the lumbar part of the spine. Once you tilt it up and you engage, that gap is gone. So now that we are engaged, our pelvis is tilted up, we should still be able to breathe normally. We're not holding our breath. We're just actually activating our deep core muscles. And this, I would say, especially if you've not activated these muscles in a long time, or this is relatively new to you, I would just stay in this position and just feel how your body is connected and how it feels strong in that particular area. The first exercise is the tabletop. So if you're tabletop, you want to raise your legs at a right angle, and your feet, you want your feet flexed. So when I say flex, your feet are against that opposing wall, so they're not relaxed and toes dipping, they're flexing. In this particular, have a little timer there. And if it is too much, you slowly release your legs and just, and then come back again when you are ready, because it still can be quite challenging. If this is challenging for you, then I would just say, just drop in one leg, releases that tension slightly. If you want to intensify, you would extend your leg, but then relax, bringing it down, releasing. You might feel it on the front of the thighs, but what you're actually doing is you are actually strengthening this frontal area and releasing the muscles in the lower back. Okay, the first exercise is the tabletop. So if you're tabletop, you want to raise your legs at a right angle, and your feet, you want your feet flexed. So when I say flex, your feet are against that opposing wall, so they're not relaxed and toes dipping, they're flexing. In this particular, have a little timer there. And if it is too much, you slowly release your legs and just, and then come back again when you are ready, because it still can be quite challenging. If this is challenging for you, then I would just say, just drop in one leg, releases that tension slightly. If you want to intensify, you would extend your leg, but then relax, bringing it down, releasing. You might feel it on the front of the thighs, but what you're actually doing is you are actually strengthening this frontal area and releasing the muscles in the lower back. I call this a toe tap. So I come back to a tabletop, and this time I'm going to use my big toe, and I'm going to dip it into the water. Now with this particular exercise, you want to try to go as slow as you can. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. There you go, relaxing your hands, relaxing your head. Taking your time, dipping that toe. There we go, and bringing it back. If you go fast, yes, the core is still working, but you want to get the most out of this exercise. So fight to go as slow as you can. 2, oh yeah. Last one, and 1. Bringing it in and release. We're starting off with our feet flat on the floor. Knees, toes, everything's pointing forward. So our toes are at 12 o'clock. They're not wavering out or wavering in. Our legs are not too close together. They are literally hip width apart, so your body remains in alignment. From there now, I want you to imagine and picture your spine. It's like you're peeling off, and you're peeling it off. And as you stick, that's how you're going to raise that hip off the floor. So you are peeling it up, squeezing those glutes. You're going to feel it in the hamstrings, and then sticking it back down without leaving any bubbles or little gaps or little ruffles over. So to keep it nice and smooth. Same thing, so peel off from the tip. Feel, get a mind connection into that, into your erector spinae. Joint by joint, it slowly lowers. Modified plank, you're going to start off in all four position, and you're just going to slowly walking your hands out and taking your lower half back. Then in this way, your bottom is in the air. Now at the moment, I would like you to bring the bottom down. Here we go, but still keep the trunk, the pelvic area that we was using before, engaged. So the temptation may be that you do this, and then what happens? Pain. So we want to make sure that when we lower that bottom, this area is still tight and we're still able to talk and breathe, but just be in tune with that contraction that we felt when we was on our back. It's the same feeling we're going to be feeling. Take it into that modified plank position, bottom down. Now this may still be too challenging, and if it is, I'll ask you to come down onto your elbows, but still maintaining that contraction in the pelvic area. And try to relax your shoulders. We're going to try and hold it for 30 seconds. If it's too much, you take it back down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Peel yourself off. Bottom is down. And hold it there.